That there's a job requirement before you get to school,
right,
that exposes you to a lot of things in healthcare before you were versus an MD.
How things work,
school, boom, right. Residency. You're learning it all on residency, and,
right.
and is that you see how things are done and how people interact before you
right.
actually get to the job and start working on it.
Yeah, I remember my first day on the job as a PA. And they're like, order a CT scan for this patient. I was like, okay. This is back in the days of like writing in a chart. And I opened up the chart and I was like, what do I write? And they're like, CT abdomen. Scan. And I was like, oh, okay. CT abdomen. And they're like, do you want contrast? Do I want contrast? I mean, because I worked with a lot of NPs right out of school and they had worked on the floor for years and they knew, well, you could do a CT with oral contrast, with IV contrast, without contrast. It could be abdomen, pelvis, chest, abdomen, pelvis. They knew all of these factors and I had no clue. So I think whatever that exposure is, if you can get it somehow, I think it is beneficial. But having said that, I did not have that and I'm fine. I got up to speed, no problem. So
yeah, where I was going, I guess, before I had a brain freeze was the exposure in terms of, we talked about you want to get your exposure and be out of the room, right? You want to do this and leave. I want to do this. I like that. And then I can leave. It gives me a pass. But knowing also that when I was working an X job, I saw how upset patients were with the fact that the 5 minutes, they're only here for 5 minutes. They don't do this. They don't do that. They're just so fast, which is...
Now you make me feel terrible.
No. But you and I both know working in this field that it's the nature of the job. At a certain point, I have to.
Right.
I remember being in school being like, I'm never going to be that guy.
Right.
I'm going to always take the time to sit down, which I watch you around and know that you take plenty of time, more than
a lot
99% of people.
I get made fun of all the time for how much time I take.
Even the person that spends the most time is not enough time.
Still
not enough.
I had that happen today. Yes.
And working in those other fields, you start seeing, you see that.
Like perspective.
Perspective-wise, you understand, man, it's tough. I see how heart surgery shouldn't be talked about in 5 minutes.
Right.
But sometimes it ends up being that way.
And maybe we talk for 15 minutes and then I leave and guess what? They keep talking and then more questions come up. Yep. Like ideally in a perfect world, you could go back and be like, okay, so you've had some time to think about this. Let's talk more. But there's just no time. Yeah. There's really no time to do it.
Yeah.
So
it's perspective and you gain it, in your previous job experience and then on the job
right.
But it is something that no matter what your previous job experience, and that's what is so great, like I said about PA schools, you have to have something.
Yep.
And you can't just walk in without any job experience.
Right.
That you gain whatever perspective that is, whether it's, scribes, which is becoming more and more popular. I feel like I didn't even know that existed when I was applying for PA school. And then all of a sudden I got to school and there's like 5 of them that were in our class. But scribes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Really? Had worked as scribes.
That was their job. And that was fantastic.
Yeah.
They knew shit I never even heard of because they'd been in the ER or things like that where you see it, like you said, all these random things.
You had perspective. You had a frame of reference.
Phlebotomy techs, people that were microbiology
like lab
techs. They knew so much about things and they had a perspective on stuff that I'd never heard of. And I think that's part of it too. You're in a class of however many people that have done how many
a lot of different variety. Yeah.
And it benefits you to get in and find out about that.
Right. Learn from other people.
Yeah.